Yeah, I'll read from my own work. The Roundabout Woman is a real person. Um, I remember the novel is based on the Roundabout Woman. It's a woman who, in my world, she's standing on the roundabout, which is her safe island, her haven of safety. Um, it was a woman who was standing in the curve of a road on the way to work. And I remember that I had a Fiat, red one, and each time when I passed her, I mean, she got always very angry and started insulting me. And she carried a bag, you know, carry a bag, a typical Spanish one, and a rattan one. And she'd get angry and started to spit even at me, although I was driving alongside. So it was a common phenomenon on the way to work. And I researched her, and I asked my students, because Mallorca is small, whether they knew this woman. Yes, they knew the woman, and they told me her life story. Is that in the curve of the road, her child was overrun by a car. Here it comes. And the ambulance came late and died. So this woman stood every morning in the curve at the road where her son died and could not overcome this problem, because there are people who go to psychologists and then they are cured, but she couldn't cure herself, and she was still angry at the car. And my car was a red car, so she got even more angry. That is something in life which is something to think of, that there are people who cannot defend themselves, and in fact they need help. So she's the sort of person behind the novel, and it is about the roundabout woman. But in the novel, it's about also murder cases and serial sex killers. And things like that.
You made it a little bit more spicy.
But I will try to find. Yeah, there must be part of the novel which is terrible. But okay. All around the woman at the roundabout in Madrid, there were cars with flashing rear lights and squealing brakes. Moroccan guest workers, junkies, rich tourists, parents of teenagers who had died from ecstasy overdoses, urban nomads who had lost the urge to wander, women with their partner's name tattooed on their shoulders, sterile couples shopping for children, McDonaldized princes and princesses, and other people were flooding over the confines of the streaming ditch of welfare of Eurolandia.
Nice.
Where its ideal members should live together peacefully and cooperatively. People said that she was a sort of mystic, both crazy and unpredictable. You could see her there on any day of the week and at any time of the day. When youngsters came to tire-screeching halts, she made obscene gestures to them, yelled at them, screaming swear words and insulting them. Sometimes there was a flicker of a smile with a toothy grin, or she was just laughing like a maniac. Others shifted into neutral and left the engine running. They watched through the steamy windows to obtain a glimpse of things happening outside. At the same time, it made them feel slightly uneasy. They called her the dancing roundabout woman and found her bewitchingly appealing in the boring greyness of the day. She was the mystic attraction on the way to their dull job in a 10-story office of a concrete high-rise. Fluffy, self-satisfied, middle-aged couples in Land Cruisers, behind their yellow sunglasses of the latest fashion producing 20 by 20 vision, you have those glasses, looked uncomfortable and slightly embarrassed. They didn't want to see the roundabout heroine and pretended to be very busy inside, fiddling with the CD buttons, pressing the accelerator impatiently, or mumbling to the offspring in the back seat, saying, "Everybody is going to be what they are, can't you see, love?" She must be confessing, and God will absolve her. It's a typical thing. The roundabout woman was utterly alone in another world. Everything was foreign to her. She had opted for the security of her plot of land on the roundabout and floated along like a fish in the sea. She didn't like the rehabilitation unit, her therapist and social workers any longer. To be put there, not to be able to have any mini breaks or relationships. The GP and social workers were not able to anticipate. Instead, they were nicely tucked up in their own warm houses, having good meals and doing their best to forget the human wreckage they tried to sort out during their working lives. In this world of postmodernism, of fancy shopping malls, of mass marketing and theme parks, of bureaucracy, of hard loans, of executive snobby wine cellars, and high scores in the multiple choice intelligent tests and spreadsheet analysis on the and spread analysis on the that's a joke. Her present there didn't matter to anybody. She was just a traveller, one of the many travellers on the face of the earth in a country of sheep, all moving in one direction with one purpose. In fact, a society's circus whirled around her with the rush of commerce, despair and resignation. There was no rancour, no weeping and no sense of loss. The traffic was like a silver river in the darkness, and she just listened to the confluence of echoing car sounds, honking car horns, screeching brakes, the accelerating cars at her side. The jostling crowd of people just went on with their lives in this mobile and chat republic. A live performance, or was it a human history? Perhaps a human story abandoned by progress, by efficient, responsible social workers, by Marx, by man, by woman and by children, stood there on the roundabout, saying snatches of her favourite dialogues from a favourite soap opera. She was like a fugitive, determined to escape, but recognizing the futility of further flight.